Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Frequency Fluid channel. Today's episode is going to be on the Fighting Spirit series. This is episode 2. This is the Fighting Spirit, Wilma Rudolph. Let me remind you, the Fighting Spirit is a 10-part series based on iconic people who transgressed archaic boundaries in society at a time when cultures of all backgrounds, people of all influences couldn't really connect. There was a lot of boundaries and walls and barriers to break down that these people, we can give them so much gratitude and thanks for, because they helped our society become one as a whole. Wilma Rudolph. She was born June 23rd, 1940. She is the very first woman ever in the history of the Olympic Games to win 3 gold medals at a single game. It was in Rome, Italy, in 1960, and she was only 20 years old. So going back, Wilma Rudolph, she was born into a family number 20 of 22 children. God bless her parents for being such good parents, because she always said in her interviews that her family was her biggest support system. So imagine a family with 22 children, that they loved each other so much at a time in the 1940s and the 50s and the 60s that you know it was just it's just amazing to me. Everybody knows those times were very chaotic in all societies across the world. A lot of societies were just coming into a modern civilization, and for her to be in such a loving, well-rounded family, and her brothers and sisters and her parents and her aunts and her uncles to all have supported one another so greatly, I find that super influential. And I really want you to reach out and you know you know thank someone in your inner circle in your family. Appreciate them if they ever picked you up off the ground when you fell off of your bicycle. Because that's what Wilma Rudolph always wanted everybody to know, was that her family was a huge support system for her. Wilma Rudolph started off at a very young age, and she went through some really difficult trials and tribulations. She had scarlet fever. That eventually led to a severe case of pneumonia that Wilma Rudolph had. And ultimately, it led her to having polio. So Wilma Rudolph actually had to wear braces on her legs until she was 9 years old, just to even learn how to walk and to grow her legs to where they were functional. This is a very, very big deal in the frequency fluid world, in the mindset, because I want you to know that Wilma Rudolph should show as a motivational person, an iconic person, to prove to you that you can get through anything, whether you're a child or you're an adult. If you're in the face of adversity, no matter where you come from, what your background is, you can achieve and overcome anything. I'm so proud of you for overcoming anything in life that you've gotten to now, being positive, staying strong. Wilma Rudolph is one of those people, and a wonderful woman who empowered women and empowered society as a whole, men, children, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, to become one, to be able to break down those societal boundaries at a time where people couldn't even do that if they wanted to. The very first series of or episode of the Fighting Spirit series is about Muhammad Ali. Fun fact: during the 1960 games, Muhammad Ali and Wilma Rudolph met and briefly dated. I think that is so cool, guys. I didn't even know that until recently, but I just think it is so cool. So, two really iconic people happen to be the first two people in the first two parts of the Fighting Spirit series, and I just think it's worth noting that they actually helped each other become, you know, strong-minded. They weren't out to promote themselves with one another. They needed someone to be able to lean on. They found that in one another, be it a brief time in their life. And I just think it's really amazing that those two people were able to intertwine at a certain time in history. I just think it's beautiful. Wilma Rudolph was discovered by world famous track coach Edwin Temple from the state of Tennessee University at age 13, from her high school basketball team, that she had transitioned over into track. So Edwin Temple mentored her throughout her entire career, and she gave so much gratitude and thanks to that man because he is so amazing in what he has done for so many women and so many people that he mentored and coached throughout his lifetime and his career. So ode up to, frequency fluid ode is also out to Edwin Temple for being so influential in the life of Wilma Rudolph and giving her that confidence to overcome any type of adversity. Um, she did this at the age of 13. She started running with the track team at the State of Tennessee University at 13 as a club member. They actually formed a club so that she could come, and other young ladies who needed the opportunity could come, because unless you were an adult and were enrolled at the university, you couldn't actually run with the track team. So they had events and stuff, and it really built her up quickly into a protege of Mr. Temple's, who was going to become a world famous track star, and who did. Um, she attended her first Olympic Games at the age of 16 in 1956 in Melbourne, Australia, you guys. She won the bronze medal in the 4x100 meter relay. It wasn't a gold medal, but my God, she still was able to go home and go around to all those people in her hometown and show them, look what I did. Y'all used to see me walking around with leg braces. Wilma was bullied. She had kids making fun of her, until she started to uh, overcome those adversities and became a basketball star at her high school and started beating everybody. And then she became a track star and she started smoking everybody. She would just run right past them. And you know what? She proved to those people throughout her career that she was going to be a winner and she was going to overcome adversity. The fighting spirit is Wilma Rudolph. Um, After the 1956 games and she won her bronze medal, she went on about her life and continued her track and field career. Continued being coached by Edwin Temple. She then she made it to the games in Rome, Italy in 1960 at the age of 20 years old, Wilma Rudolph. 20 years old, became the very first woman ever in any Olympic Games to win 3 gold medals. And I think that is so amazing because what an empowering young woman at a time in society across the globe that needed that fighting spirit. You know, she finished her career on top. Her last race was, in her own words, the fastest single race she had ever ran. She beat Russia in a competition of Russia versus USA at Stafford University in California, and she went out on top. She retired. She went on to become a philanthropist. Pardon. She became an activist for women's rights. She became an activist for young people, and created organizations for them to have an opportunity to become an athlete, to become a scholar, to become many things. Wilma Rudolph deserves the Frequency Fluid shout out for being the fighting spirit that she is. She will always live in the hearts of all men and women. And I encourage you to do your own research on Wilma Rudolph and learn that you have the fighting spirit within you. I hope you've liked today's episode of The Fighting Spirit. This is part 2. We have 8 more parts coming about iconic people. Today is Wilma Rudolph's day. God bless you all for watching. Please hit like. Please, guys, let's get those subscriber numbers up. Today is a celebratory day. We hit 50 subscribers today, guys. If you could all please do me a favor and reach out to one person around you and ask them to subscribe and watch just one upload on the channel, I would be ever grateful. If you can't, no harm, no foul. I'm not worried about it. I still love you so much. I'm proud of you all for overcoming adversity, thinking and looking towards positivity, self-growth, and an individual betterment of yourself so that we can create a betterment of humanity around the world. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.